up, everybody? Like someone once told me the other night, I like to play that blue note, the blue notes. Yeah, blew that note. I spent the better part of early part of today watching old episodes of Shindig, starting back in 1965, and I remember this show all too well, even though I was only 5 or 6 years old. Apparently it was Wednesday nights, and Shindig would come on, and me and my brother and sister would gather on the living room floor in front of that old TV set, and they would make popcorn, and I would sit there. Can you believe it? I'd sit there with the popcorn and dip the pieces of popcorn into a glass of water to soften them up and eat it, and I thought that was delicious because I was 5 or 6. But the first episode I watched had the Turtles, the Loving Spoonful, Bobby Sherman, Glenn Campbell, the Beach Boys, the Rolling Stones, the Yardbirds, Jerry and the Pacemaker, Freddie and the Dreamers, on one show, okay? On one show. And then the second one I watched, it had the Everly Brothers, the Righteous Brothers, Billy Preston. It went on and on and on. It's just amazing. And back then you had Shindig. Then there was Hullabaloo. There was the Smothers Brothers Comedy Hour that featured, musicians all the time, the popular people of the day. And this is all in the 60s. These are the ones I remember from the 60s. Then the 70s came along, and we had, American Bandstand also started in the 60s and ran forever. Then it was later on, it was American Bandstand, Soul Train, Don Kirshner's rock concert, the Midnight Special, and you saw all, and then in the 80s, it was, 70s and 80s, it was Hee Haw, Solid Gold, Sha-Na-Na, and you were constantly exposed to all this great freaking popular music and popular artists of the day. Can you imagine that now? What are they going to have? You're going to have a show with Justin Bieber, Conway, and Kanye or whatever, and the Kardashian, whatever. I don't know. Tonight, Justin Bieber, Taylor Swift, and Tupac or 50 Cent, whatever. Just, so I would urge you to go back and watch some of these old episodes. 1965, a girl comes on Shindig. I can't recall her name now. Shaw. Her last name is Shaw. Tina Shaw, maybe? Singing, always something there to remind me, da 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 da. And you thought those nitwits in the 80s did that. No. You'll be shocked at the songs that you hear that you think somebody else wrote and they didn't. And I've talked about this before, being 14 years old and driving down the road with my mother coming home from my piano lesson, and Nazareth comes on the radio with Love Hurts, and I go, isn't this a great song? I really, really like this song. And she goes, well, it was always a nice song, but I'm not so sure about this. And I go, what do you mean it was always a nice song? It's brand new. And she informed me that no, that was an old Everly Brothers song from the 50s or earlier, 60s or earlier, and it was not written by Nazareth. Oh, you know, I always thought Aerosmith wrote. I thought Nazareth wrote "Walking the Dog." Guess what? I was wrong again. And now you've got, America's Got Talent, England's Got Talent, The Voice. I don't know what you got. We used to get up on Sunday, come home from church on Sunday, and there would be a show on TV called the Carroll Show, which was a local talent show out of Cleveland. And it had some, local popular people on it. But it featured local talent from the Northeast Ohio area. And it was great. And then right after that was Lawrence Welk. And then a little later on was American Bandstand and Soul Train, And it was great. And you don't have that now, especially on network television. Network television is terrible. But if you really want to be entertained, and if you're any over 50 or over in that demographic, and we talked about this last night too, with shout out to Dr. Groovy, Scott Grove, for his Sunday night show. We had a lot of fun last night. We launched the real thing, and boy did it glitch. But if you're in that age demographic, go on YouTube, search Shindig, search Hullabaloo, search the Smothers Brothers. Even Laugh-In, had musical guests, I believe, now and then. I can't remember. It's hard for me to remember. But, music on television, the popular music of the day used to be such a big part of network television. And it just isn't anymore. And, you go on YouTube and you watch Rick Beato, and he's reviewing the top 100 on Spotify. I can't. It doesn't work for me. I don't know what the top 100 songs of the day are right now. When I'm listening to Sirius Radio, I'm listening to Little Steven's Underground Garage or 60s Gold or something else, and Willie Nelson's Willie's Roadhouse or something like that with a classic country, and I get in my car and it's got, an FM radio, so I'm listening to the local classic rock stations or local oldies stations. But, the new stuff, I have no clue. I don't know. So, like I said, I was so surprised on that first one I watched to have all those guys in the Yardbirds were the last act on the show, and they played Heart Full of Soul. That's not the key. I don't know what it is. But Jeff Beck on that Nocaster, man, do I have the reverb up? Jeff Beck on that broadcaster, Nocaster, Telecaster thing that he played, that white one that he gave to Seymour Duncan or somebody, traded him a guitar, a telly with humbuckers in it, and he said, and when I watched that guitar go out the door, I realized there went my history of all those recordings. But anyway, Jeff gets nuts, and he takes the guitar off, and he's holding it up, and he's got a slide. He takes a slide, and this is one of Jeff's tricks, because it only had a bridge pickup, so he'd do this. He starts doing that stuff, and while he's holding the guitar up like this, and he's getting crazy with it, and then he does some really bizarre this stuff with it, and man, yeah, that was cool. But the Beach Boys and The Rolling Stones. The Rolling Stones were doing old blues tunes. You know, they were doing old blues songs that I don't think they had written anything yet, you know, or much to speak of. They were covering old blues stuff that they had heard. So, yeah. And, you know, we'll never go back to that. The world just moves on and on and on, and things get more buried and lost. And we'll never move back to those days when, you know, it was an event to get around. You know, I still remember the night, vaguely remember it, but I remember it the night that we watched the Beatles on Ed Sullivan, and my dad made such fun of them. He made such fun. Yeah, 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 yeah. You just thought that was terrible, you know. And oh God. But you know, those were the days. And you know, days gone by. So, all right. Well, I just wanted to talk about that because I'm gonna go out on my Fire Stick. And I'm going to bring up YouTube this evening, and I'm going to just watch old episodes of Shindig off of YouTube in the living room for the evening, because it's better than anything I'm getting on TV now. So, and I want to remind you, Sunday night, we'll be live again with Dr. Groovy at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. Pacific, and something in the middle mountain. I'm taking the phone out of this room. That's what's going to happen. Oh, and tomorrow or Wednesday, I will have a special unboxing of something very, very cool. An unboxing and a demo of something very, very, very cool. I think you're going to like it. I know I'm going to like it. Me and Linda are going to like it. And it's musical equipment. It's a piece of gear. So, but it's something that should work out real well. So, tune in for that. And until I see you folks again, please like and subscribe. Hit my Patreon up if you so desire. And I'll see you again on the next one.